Hi, everybody. I hope you guys can hear me. I had to set up my computer here at home, so hopefully it sounds great. Sorry for the mess, but everything should be good to go. I had to actually delete the other stream because I had set that up on my phone, so it wouldn't let me do it from my computer. So I had to re get it started here. So. Um, let's go ahead and let's get started. I don't have any many people on here yet, but I can kind of tell you a little bit of what's going on right now. The last month or so, we've had two price increases, so that's never fun. So what we've decided to do at my location is we know we have four display homes that are supposed to be coming in, starting with the Fantasy Island, then followed up by the Horizon 48, the Horizon 76, and then the Land Race. So all those homes will be ready by June. So what we decided to do versus outweighing custom orders, we decided to sell our display units even though they have not been built yet. So I did a video on our Facebook page. I believe I uploaded one here to the YouTube page as well, kind of going over the cost of those particular units, what it includes. So these homes, they're going to come as we ordered them. You probably have an opportunity on the Horizon 76 and maybe the Land Race to make some changes just because they're a little bit further out. But the prices that we set, we are price protecting those homes. Um, so we're keeping our fingers crossed that we don't continue to get major price increases. But the way they're priced, hopefully, because they're going to be within the next 120 days, we should not have to change pricing on those particular homes. So let's go ahead and let's first talk about the Fantasy Island. The Fantasy Island is a 28 by 54 um, double wide home, three bedrooms, two bath, 1,478 square feet. We have that home priced out at 149,999. That does include up to 250 miles of normal delivery and setup of the home, the 14-seer AC unit, vinyl skirting, and steps to the home. The next home, which we should be getting out in March, is the Horizon 48. That home is a 30 by 48. So it's wider but narrower in comparisons to the Fantasy Island. That is also a three-bedroom, two-bath home. And that one is also priced at the 149,999, including the same thing, up to 250 miles of normal delivery, setup, AC, skirting, and steps from base, which is priced at 233,000 with the same scenarios. Okay, so those are the four homes that we are going to be offering to sell to you, which means I will be basically out of display homes, which is okay because we're just trying to do our part to ensure that you're not constantly beat up by price increases. Our job at the factory is to basically sell units and not worry too much about high profits as our retail stores are focused on now. They have to because they have huge overheads, and they have to pay salespeople. So it's not like they're trying to make a killing on you because they can. Is they have to pay bills. I'm sure you guys understand that. So that's what we currently have now. With that as well, we also have some other homes that are available now. We have several single wide homes. The Palm Limited, which is a 1676 three-bedroom, two-bath home. We have two of those available. Those are manufactured from our Fleetwood facility. We have a Santa Fe home, which is our higher end single wide models, three bedrooms, two bath. We have the La Gomera. It's the single wide that everyone really, really likes. Perfect for going onto like a lakefront property, just because it has that entry porch going into the side of the home there. We have one of those available, both in a 16 and an 18 wide version. We also have one more Santa Fe left. Those are for the single wides. For double wides, we have the True Models Marvels available, 28 by 56, four bedrooms. We have a Horizon 56 still available. We also have the Somerset 52 available as well. So, but in the next 60 days, we're going to have a lot more homes available as well. So we have some homes available for you that we've price locked. I'll be more than happy to provide you that information and kind of going from there. So all you have to do is actually just email me at G as in general, M as in manager at GM088 at palmharbor.com. All right. So this is a free forum. So I'm really hoping that you guys have questions that I can answer for you. As we know here in the majority of Texas is under this winter storm. So a lot of our sales centers have been closed down. So I wanted to make myself available to you since I have a lot of experience running internet selling, because we cover Arizona, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas, and parts of Louisiana. So I want to make sure I can answer any questions that you have. So tell me where you guys are from and what's the weather like in your area currently. Here, I'm located just south of Fort Worth, and we have ice and snow. So it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice to have. It's definitely a relief that it wasn't like last year's Snowmageddon, where everything was shut down and we didn't have power. So I'm happy to have power today. Things that we also have in works. I am partnering up with Yes Communities here in the Dallas Fort Worth area, and they have several single wide and double wide spaces available in a few of their communities here. Their lot rent or space rent there is going to vary from 550 to about 700 a month. These are going to be in areas such as Fort Worth, Keller, Mansfield. They have spaces available for not only just single wides, but also double wide homes. Yes Communities offers the resort style living like you would find in an apartment complex with swimming pools, clubhouses. Some communities have security in there. So we are teaming up with them to be able to offer properties to someone to rent out to in order to still live in the city and not go outwards and have to purchase properties to put a manufactured home on there. So we have that available. So if you are interested in going into a manufactured home community, all you got to do is email me once again at GM. Is it lagging on your guys' end? If so, I can kick my family off the internet. Let me know. Just leave a comment below. I'm not sure if you guys saw my video a couple weeks ago regarding the types of loans and lenders that we have available for financing our manufactured homes. So I'll kind of go into that while we're waiting for questions. So the lenders that we typically use to finance manufactured homes, we're going to start with the biggest lender, which is 21st Mortgage. 21st Mortgage offers chattel, which is just the home financing by itself. And they also offer land and home through a private portfolio. This program is really set for people who are either trying to like buy a single wide because they're not 100% focused on the home. They're more focused on the amount of property they can buy. This portfolio program allows us to purchase the land and the home together, but they're separating two different appraisals where they're just going to give value for the home and then they're going to value the land based on what's being sold in your local area. So if you're really concentrating and say, hey, you know what, I want 5 acres of property, I don't really care about the home, this is a great program for you because they're not going to try to combine the two together and get one appraisal, which typically we find an issue because land is so expensive right now and the home prices are obviously a lot higher than they used to be, that finding value right now for your appraisal is really, really hard. Not saying that there isn't manufactured homes being sold, just not to the extent of what you're actually be trying to get for a brand new manufactured home on land with all the improvements. So this allows them to be able to give you what you're looking for and be successful. And what makes it makes them capable of doing it is that they're using their own money. They're using their own money to insure their own loans. So that's how they're able to do that. Um, on their land home packages for financing, they're now going to 30 years compared to 23 to 25 years maximum that they used to have. So it's now a full 30-year term if you wish to. They can also go as low as a 5-year term for those who are really fortunate enough to afford to pay something so quickly. They're able to do that. They also offer no prepayment penalty loans. So at least that way, if you happen to come across some money, you can pay off your loan totally and not have any issues. The next lender that we commonly use is Cascade Financial. Just like 21st, they have chattel and land home programs available for you. Now, on their land home, they also have a portfolio program like 21st, but they also offer VA and FHA financing for you. So at least that way, if you wanted to get into these standard real estate mortgages that you would find on a traditional site built home, they're able to do that at their current time, or this current time as of this morning. They still had rates about 3.75 over 30 years for both the VA and the FHA programs. So you have that available to you. These are perfect for our modular constructed homes where you're wanting to get more value out of your package. We can definitely do that with the modular. Our Fort Worth factory for Palm Harbor is the only Palm Harbor facility that builds a modular. So the popular homes such as the Horizon 56, Horizon 76, the Magnum, the Land Race, all those homes are built in a modular version. So those programs would work very well for them. Now, talking about chattel with these two lenders, let's say that you already own your property, you're not wanting to use it as collateral, and you're just wanting to finance your home, but you still need electric, water, um, even foundations, and you want to make improvements. These lenders will allow a certain amount of improvements to be rolled in to your loan without having to give up your land as collateral. Now, I want you to understand how important that is. Okay. So if life was to happen, is those items. So if you have land and you're willing to just finance the home by itself, we can roll in those utility connections and other improvements to you using those two lenders. So that's a phenomenal option for you too. And it's a lot quicker than doing a land home package because we're not waiting on appraisers to come in and appraise everything for you. This is just basic financing, puts you right through there. Now, depending on how great your credit score is, they have programs with zero money down. And if it's really, really horrible, they're going to ask you about 40% down. 40% is just really the amount of money they lose when they end up having to repo a home. So they're just having you buy the risk out, but they reward you when you buy out the risk to give you a very competitive rate compared to somebody who has excellent credit. So it washes out, So you're literally paying the piper in that one. So, but they have some programs available for you. Now, there is a lender that we use that our company, as far as Kafka Industry owns, which is Country Place Mortgage. They, just like 21st and Cascade, offer chattel, and they also offer land home. The additional program that they're going to have over Cascade is the USDA program. This program is amazing for those who don't mind living a little bit further out of the city and going to an area that the government is looking to actually develop and increase. These USDA loan programs are great because they are a zero down program. Um, that's phenomenal. I myself, I don't mind putting money down, because I understand the more money I put down, the less my payment's going to be. So I think about the overall cost, but not everybody has the opportunity to put money down. So USDA does allow you to do a zero down program. Also, they don't carry a mortgage insurance, but they do roll in what's called a funding fee. So that way it kind of washes out, but you don't have an additional payment that you're making to the government for that, just for the government. Mortgage insurance doesn't go to the home. It just protects the loan. It protects the bank. So this is a great opportunity for you to jump into that. There are some qualifications. If you make too much money, you can't qualify for this program. Um, but for the majority of the people, it's a great opportunity to jump into that, because a lot of people ask me about the first time home buyer program. What I tell everybody, that it's all up to the banks um, as far as being able to do that, or gifted money. You know, that's all up to them. It's not really up to us as the home builder to say that we have those programs. It's really just the lenders um, regarding that. Now, if you have a lender who is willing to give you a first time home buyers program, we would be willing to look into that lender and get them set up. The more options we have, the better it is for us. At the end of the day, it's a chat. So they just have to agree to doing a construction loan. um, what does that mean? A construction loan, it really means that the bank is taking 100% risk through the whole construction process. So they will pay off land, and then they will wait the 6 to 12 months for the home to be built. And then the 60 days afterwards for us to finish and get the final survey done. So, really, it may be a 10-month process or a 16-month process that the bank is totally taking the risk of doing that. That's what we want, because we're not in the business to go out and buy land and put a home and then sell it. That's not what Palm Harbor does. That's why we use lenders such as Cascade, 21st, and CPM to offer those construction loans for you. So that's what a construction loan is. It's just basically a loan that the bank is risking to pay everything during construction time. All right. So other lenders that we have available for land home is Triad. I rarely use them because the other three are so competitive, but they are available. On the chattel end, we use a Texas-owned lender out of San Antonio called Credit Human. And then to finish it up, we use Common Sense Lending. So those are all the lenders that are available. Now, you can go through the channel here and you can find a more detailed information regarding those lenders in the video that I did about 2 weeks ago. Okay. All right. So let's say that you're looking for land and home. This is a common question that I get asked a lot. I get plenty phone calls. I can only speak from my location when it comes to land home. I myself do not help you find land. I'm sorry. But other locations may, because they may, they have typically 4 to 6 sales consultants there that they can distribute the load of those responsibilities between them. At the end of the day, Palm Harbor still puts the responsibility in you being able to find your land. We try to rely heavily on real estate agents, but we understand that they're more concerned going out and selling a $300,000 to $400,000 piece of property and making 14, 15 grand in commissions versus selling an $80,000 piece of property and only making $1,500. I'm not going to fault them for trying to go out and make more money. So I did like a 45-minute video on land home that you can find once again on this channel that literally will teach you how to look for property using realtor.com. I use realtor.com the most, and here's the reason why. They're actually using the true MLS listings and placing them on to realtor.com, so they're current. Unless the real estate agent hasn't updated the MLS, it should show everything that's available, also everything that's pending and contingent. So I will, in that video, it teaches you how to actually look for land, how to filter through the deals that are pending and contingent to eliminate those, so you know what you're actually looking for. I even show you exactly what verbiage to see in the listing, so you can ensure that you're finding a piece of property that actually allows a modular manufactured home on there. Because typically, nobody really knows the experience that we bring forth as a location. I've been with Palm Harbor 17 years, and I've done real estate with them. I've done land home with them. I've done chattel. I'm just trying to offer that to you guys. At the end of the day, I hope that you come and purchase from me. But if you end up buying from Palm Harbor, that's great. It did what it needed to do. But I'd rather you understand the experience that you're going to have, and hopefully not be led down to being disappointed, because land home is, man, it's tricky and it's long. And the best way I can explain it for some of you that may have experienced this in your own life is pregnancy. Typically, when you start the transaction, you're gonna be pretty happy. You're like, wow, we're buying a home and all of this is happening. So just like your first trimester, you're pretty excited about the pregnancy. Then you enter the second trimester, which is basically after closing, and you're just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for your home to come out and it be finished. That's the part that sucks the most, because sometimes there may be weeks of stuff not actually going on and it's stuck there, right? So, and you're kind of like, let's get this baby out. I'm done. But finally, when you get into your last trimester and you're actually delivering and the baby comes out and you're finally holding that baby, you have such joy. That's the exact same thing that happens when you actually get your keys to move into your home. The time frame that it took, all of a sudden, it just seems like it wasn't that long. You do understand that it took forever, but once you're able to move in and you get to experience all that, that's phenomenal. You forget about it, and it was well worth the wait. So that video will kind of go over everything with you. Also, what it'll do for you is give you pricing of what a septic tank may cost you, what utility connections will cost you, what the land will cost you, your foundation, your skirting, your decks. It's really informative, because I rather you, when you set your budget, for instance, I had somebody yesterday come to the office and they were telling me that their overall budget was about $180,000. The first things I asked is like, okay, what does that 180 include? What are you needing? So when, in their case, they already had a septic tank already in there, but they needed foundation, they needed utility connections, decks, and so forth. So I was like, all right, hey, well, here are those costs for those things. So we're going to put aside $20,000. So let's subtract that from your 180. So what's left over is what we need for the home. So now it's 160. So that will help you, despite if you buy from me or you don't, or you buy from another location, that you work your budget. I want to put the power in your hands to understand how to go out and buy a manufactured home, how to get it financed, and how to put everything in your hands and have control of it. Once you're willing to move forward, then we share that control, both of us, and we both work at the same common goal to get you into your home. So knowing that information helps me, and it also helps you out, so you have a full understanding of how it's all going to work. All right, guys. I haven't seen anything come through, so hopefully I'm just answering questions that you already had that you didn't have to type in here. Okay. All right. So it's been about 24 minutes since we've been on. I kind of went over some lenders, what some of our videos and our feeds have, some available homes for you. I talked about our recent price increases as well. Other than that, I really don't have much else going on. Now, I am going to talk about the polls. We recently had some polls that we put out, and this is what I come to find out. You guys like your videos to be at 5 p.m. You prefer them to be on a Friday, and you like this kind of setup versus everything else that we put out there. So not tomorrow, but next week at 5 p.m. Central Time, Texas time, we will do our first actual forum, just like what we're doing here. I just hope you guys have more questions, because I don't have any right now. So this will give you a whole week's worth to write down questions. You can ask me about construction, because I'm at the factory, so I should know about our construction. You can ask me about financing. I will give you, within my own licensing ability, to give you answers regarding financing. You could ask me about land home, how to find land. You can ask me uh, what to expect after you get your home. You can even ask me questions as like, how do I get service on my house? Is this home available in this area? Is this home not available? How can I get one built? I'll be more happy to answer that. As well, I'd be happy to answer any other questions regarding the manufactured building process as well. So, um, I hope you guys stay warm. I I know that it's crazy out there. It's finally stopped sleeting. It finally stopped snowing. So hopefully we'll be able to get out and about here and not be caged in. Hope you guys stay safe and just understand that we're all in this together. We may not always agree, but that's okay. You can do the famous Iron Man eye roll uh, and just kind of keep that to yourself. Oh, the that's a great question as far as the Metalius. I don't know how to pronounce that word, but the cabin home. I know which home you're talking about. If it's deliverable to Tennessee, I would have to find out. Our builder for the Tennessee area is our sister company called Destiny Homes. I will reach out to them and ask if they can actually construct you that particular cabin there. Now, that one actually comes out of our Millersburg facility out in Oregon. So the nice thing is that we are now one company. It's something that we talk about and not only preach but try to practice is that we can have some synergy between the different builders with floor plans. So I will definitely find out for you regarding that home. Great question. All right. So since we're talking about floor plans and where it's available, I can let you know where we do build and as of right now. As of right now, you can either buy from our Fleetwood facilities, our Palm Harbor, our Kafco, our Destiny, our Fellowship Homes, Lexington, and then well, our most recent one, Commodore. Um, we cover pretty much the majority, all of the U.S. with the exceptions of Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa. I think those are the only states we don't actually service. Do we service Oklahoma? We sure do. Our Texas facility covers all the state of Oklahoma. Not only our Fort Worth facility, but also our Austin facility. Our Fleetwood facility out of Waco also handles Oklahoma, as well as our Kafka facility out of San Antonio will handle Oklahoma. For my factory, which is the Fort Worth factory, we are the only ones that will go out to Arizona. We cover New Mexico. We do parts of Colorado as well. There's just certain areas where they require a super large snow load that we don't carry those rafters at this moment. We are starting to get more requests for those areas. So if the demand is there, more than likely we will probably order those kind of rafters to be able to deliver homes. And we're getting a lot more interest out of the states of Arizona and Colorado because our factories in Arizona right now are a year to 16 months out. Or my facility here, we are 6 months out. We are the quickest in backlog right now in comparisons to our other facilities here in Texas. Our Austin facility is about 8 months out, and then Fleetwood is about last I heard was 12 months, so they're about a year out. So that's what we got. So it's been about 30 minutes, guys. I appreciate you. Unless you have more questions, we'll wait about another minute or two, see if any more questions pop up. If not, you can always email me at gm088@palmharbor.com. Our number is 817-766-4250. I'm not there today. Hopefully, this stuff will be gone by tomorrow so I can be there early in the morning to take your calls. But just as a yes, we have several homes available now. Are you looking for a single wide or a double wide, Penny? So next Friday, um, at 5 o'clock Texas time, we'll do another forum. Hopefully, we'll have a larger crowd because I'll put out a post and actually pay for it to be distributed out to everybody who's subscribed here, so we can all together. Our phone number is 817-766-4250. Okay, so do I have the four bedroom, three bath Magnum price? Are you looking at the 30 wide or the 32 wide? Either way, 30 wide base price. I don't have my pricing list with me, so I'm just gonna shoot this off. But I will, if I'm able to get back to the office tomorrow, I will definitely give you the for sure price on that home there. Actually, give me a quick second. I forgot we just switched to this new Office 360, so it saves um, my Excel sheets and my Word sheets. So give me a quick second. Let me see if I can find it. And we're looking for the 32 wide. It shows there. So okay, let me go. Pricing forward. Okay, so the starting base price of the Magnum four bedroom, three bath, um, 32 wide. Now, understand this price is our price here. It does change based on your location. Okay, it does include up to 100 miles of normal delivery setup, AC, vinyl skirting, and steps. That home starts about 229,000 as the base price. Now, typically, the way you see that home on the internet and displayed at model centers has about $25,000 in options in there. So you can actually get that home just under 250,000. Um, just kind of depending where you're going to. That should cover pretty much all of North Texas. Cover you possibly going all the way out to Midland, even down to Austin. So hopefully that answers your question there. Actually, I'm gonna look on my Facebook really quick. I believe we have a 4-3 that's being built that's supposed to be coming out in the next 30 days. So when I started the feed, I was talking about some homes that are available that we kind of price locked in order to be able to offer you. Let's see here, some homes that weren't subjected to that price increase. So give me a second. I'm just looking on my mini computer here. Now, you can find a lot of the homes that we have available right now on our Facebook page. It's not a Palm Harbor page. It's kind of like an individual page for our stores. Um, our page is called At the Factory. It's on Facebook, and we actually have a shop feature in there where you're going to be able to see, as you can see here, hopefully, some homes that we have available. Uh, let's see here. And I am like 100% sure we did have that horizon in there. So, the normal price is 249,799, and that will take it out to Trenton. So, oh, you're very welcome. I love going live and answering questions. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Um, I tell everybody I'm a consumer too, um, and the one thing I dislike is playing games. I understand that we have to get information. Um, and none of us really like talking to people nowadays, but I do. I love giving you guys information. Hopefully, the information I give you will uh, make it that you buy from me or our company, or you can choose not to, because sometimes we're not the best fit for people. But at least that way you can have honest information available to you. You know, one thing I do ask you guys, and I plead, um, I'm pleading to you guys a little bit because uh, on my end, when you guys do register, um, I will call you, I will text you, and I will email you. And I understand you guys don't want that, but if you do ask about pricing, sometimes what happens, I think you may do it on accident. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt that you're doing it on accident. You guys accidentally hit the opt out option, and what that does, it doesn't allow me to email you. So what I'm trying to do is get you the price out, but you can't get it because you opted out, so the email doesn't go through. So I try to call, and then I'll call, and of course, it's always like, "Hey, it's Jeff Anthony with Palm Harbor Homes." I mean, as soon as I say Palm Harbor, it's like click. So it gets a little bit frustrating because I'm like, man, I'm not really cold calling you. I'm calling you based on that. Uh, and I honor people. Like literally, if you don't want me to call you, just put on there, hey, I don't like phone calls. Can you email me or can you text me? I will do that form of communication with you. I don't have a Barry White voice to sound great on the telephone or even live. So texting works for me. Emails works for me. I love email. And I'll tell you why, and why I think you guys should prefer to have emails versus phone calls. Okay. One of the major reasons is because anything that we communicate via email, you can use against us. I hate saying it that way, but it's true, because how many times have you made a phone call or have you had in a situation that were like, well, you said this over the phone? Verbal communication is nothing. Um, if it's not written, it doesn't exist. Get things in writing. I I I can't say I'm perfect at this, but I typically try to communicate via email or text messages, anything I promise you, and put it in there. Especially myself. Like I'm not sure how many of you have had COVID, but ever since when I had it, like I forget things. And so I rely so much more on email communication now than phone calls, because I want to make sure that if something comes out of my mouth, that you have proof of what I said so you can hold me accountable. And likewise, I want to hold you accountable. Seamless close up. Um, Is it more expensive? In a sense, yes, depending on what you're actually doing. In order to do a seamless close-up, you have to have a foundation. So if you didn't have did not have in your works of putting foundation down, the answer is yes then, because we will not do a seamless close-up unless the home is on foundation. Now, if you had already planned for the home to be on a foundation, is it that much more? The answer is no. I want to say that it's less than $2,000 to upgrade to the seamless close-up. That is a great question. Thank you so much for that question. That is phenomenal. My phone number is 817-766-4250. I'll put it in here again. Let me put my email in here because, like I just mentioned, I much rather you email me. So anything I promise you is in writing, and you can hold me accountable. I am not afraid of accountability. Um, Believe me, when I was a kid, I was held accountable for a lot of things, and I wore that belt out. All right, perfect. So my email is in there. Sure, I didn't miss any questions in here while we're waiting for more. Penny, you said small granny pod. Um, are you talking just like a more like the tiny home stuff? I want to make sure I understand what you're asking there. Um, because the word pod to me would mean something kind of like what they're doing out of Las Vegas. There's a company, and what they do, they actually ship out these modular units to you, and they fold out, and they're built to the same residential code that you would find on traditional homes. It's there's so many different modular options that are out there too. So, but as far as like a small house itself, I would probably have to go through one of my sister companies who actually builds. I think it's Fairmont. Fairmont builds the tiny homes because the tiny pod or small homes, they have to be under 600 square feet or under 400 square feet, which is something we don't do because it's a whole different building code itself. Now, if you're just talking about a small single wide, our small single wides are going to start anywhere from like our most basic models that are legitly basic, basic. Those are going to start about 80,000. Our most expensive small model, fully high end tape texture, um, wood cabinets, the real flashy. You're going to be close to the 100,000 mark on those. Okay, so Eva asked, "What's the highest wind a manufactured home can take?" So we can build up to a wind zone 3, which gets up to 160 to 180 mile an hours of sustained winds for 6 seconds. It's pretty stout. So a lot of it has to do with going from a 2x4 wall on the outside to going to 2x6, upgrading floor joist, adding um, more straps, not only in our construction, but also into the chassis as well. But it can be anywhere between 160 to 180, and that's called the Wind Zone 3 package. We did our has there been an increase on lumber versus just the home lumber itself? Yes. There's been an increase on a bunch of stuff. The lumber itself for the homes had actually increased somewhere about 14 to 15% over the last 2 weeks. The metal, the cold rolled steel that we use for the chassis has gone up. Copper has gone up as well. Um, we're just like you guys. We have to buy that stuff in bulk and try to save. So right now, when we order houses, typically we tell customers within a 60-day window, there's no more changes that we can do to your home because we've already ordered that material. So we're planning on that 60 days that's in there. So once it's been ordered and paid for, there's not an increase anymore. So we're hopefully trying to go and buy further and further out. But what that means is that when you actually go to order your home, man, you cannot change your mind. It doesn't even matter if we get to the point that we're like, hey, I can insure your price for 6 months because I'm gonna buy that material now and get it in here. That you're stuck. You're stuck in not making those changes. And within 6 months, you're probably gonna be like, you know what? I changed my mind on that color. Can we change it? So that's gonna kind of go away. Which, hey, you probably be okay saying, hey, I'm gonna live with the original color and save myself the $8,000 that it would have gave up, would have gotten up, right? So I think we can do those things, and we're investing a lot of money to warehouse materials, and we're not the only ones that are doing it. We're not that smart, but we know that that's a good way for us to save you money. So if you guys have an idea of how us as builders, not just Palm Harbor, how we can help each other out, and for one, keeping costs from going up, let us know. You know what I mean? I'm sure you guys see it when you go to Lowe's or Home Depot for just the darnest things. 800 square feet. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I don't have my price book to show you that, but the sizes you probably would want to look into is a 16 by 56, and we have some phenomenal 16 by 56 models. Um, I can send you over if you would just email me. What I can do when I get back into the office, hopefully tomorrow, I will email you those and give you pricing regarding those houses as well. All right, I'm just gonna check, make sure I didn't miss anything. Man, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for coming in here. All right. Um, while we're waiting for another question, I'll ask you guys: who's gonna win the Super Bowl? Hopefully, you guys are football fans. I used to be a huge football fan. Now it's kind of like whatever. I still enjoy watching it. I used to play middle linebacker in high school, so just because I used to play football, I enjoy it. Yes, that's very disappointing. Very disappointing. To go through a process of buying a home and having a lack of communication. Um, so I'll share a story with you and kind of how I try to sell homes. So the first home I ever bought, no one ever really helped me. I kind of went into it blindly, thinking that I knew what I was doing. I was very arrogant in those matters, and I got fully taken advantage of. Um, I didn't know much about uh, back then. Having a first and a second mortgage, not understanding what an adjustable mortgage was, not understanding those different things. And unfortunately, I was in a motorcycle accident. So literally, it took me almost a year to be able to get up and walk around again. So I ended up being released by Palm Harbor at that time. But that's how I got into the real estate portion for Palm Harbor. That they helped me find a different avenue to be with them still. Um, but I lost my house, I lost my car, I lost everything, and I always wanted to make sure that that experience that I had, that other customers didn't fall into that. And I'm not perfect in any sense. I mean, I have customers who have been upset at me. Unfortunately, it's construction. I try to get better and better every day. That's why I rely heavily on the emails as well now, just so I can make sure that anything I say that that I can prove it and that you can prove it on there. But the lack of communication is something that I've gotten a lot and a lot better. Don't be afraid to ask, guys. If your salesperson gets upset that you're asking questions, that should be a red flag, and that's just legit. I hate making phone calls. I hate making phone calls that I have to provide bad news. Um, but it's part of the construction process. I'm gonna. I'd rather set you up to be like, you're gonna have a horrible experience, and then if it turns out being great, you can't be upset with me. But if I promise you that it's going to be great and it's the best thing you're ever going to do, and then I just fail, yeah, it's not. That's just horrible way of doing things. I much rather lose your business than I'm being honest and upfront. Um, I'd rather lose it that way, and I much rather earn it that way too. So, but I know it wasn't me, but I 100% apologize about that. Anything that may have happened there as far as miscommunication. But hey, the one thing you could do now, right, is ask and ask and ask and get it all disclosed to you so you know what's going on. So why don't y'all put bathtubs in? Yeah, right. That's that's a great question. Really, because construction. Um, I know it may not seem like a big deal, but when we're actually adding a tub into a home, we have to redesign walls, which and plumbing, um, and then the backer that goes behind it. So if we can make processes a lot simpler and faster, the better it is. So that way our backlogs don't continue. That's typically one of the main reasons. Secondly, is that there is a trend of big showers right now that seems to be not only on the manufactured side, but also on the traditional residential side. So we try to tend to do whatever's going on in the market right now. So that's why we've kind of eliminated the tubs. I myself am not a bath person, so I love our showers on there. But if it doesn't have one, at least for Palm Harbor Fort Worth, which offers the Super Saver and the Keystone series, we can make those changes and put a bathtub in there. We have the standalone, we have a soaker, which has a platform on it. We can do the jacuzzi ones. We can make those modifications on the majority of all our homes that have a shower in it and not a bathtub, where we can add the bathtub back in. Great question. I'm glad you've noticed that. Bengals. You know what, man? I right now I am a Bengals fan. So, like I mentioned, I used to be a huge NFL fan, but most of all, an Oakland Raider fan. So, um, now that they moved to Vegas, I can't go watch them uh, over there. But I was super happy that the Chiefs lost. Any team that beats the Chiefs, I'm 100% on. No disrespect to Chiefs fans whatsoever. You just understand it's an AFC rivalry, so of course I'm always going to go against them. Um, that team is a great team. You know, but the Bengals were better. Yeah, I'm on board for the Bengals. Just because just looking at it, LA um, has paid for their All Madden team. So it would have been very disappointing if LA didn't make it in after all that money. The Horizon, yeah, the Horizon. We switched over to the 96-inch shower in that one, but you still do have the option to put back the standalone and put the 60-inch in there. So we can definitely do that. If we go back to the standard option, it's only like $650 to do that. So yeah, that's what being a fan is about. You win or lose, you stick with your team. Um, yeah, a lot of people say I don't have loyalty to stuff. They're like, okay, you're so for baseball. Um, I don't really have a team in baseball, but I will root for like the Cubs. I was stationed in there in Great Lakes when I was in the Navy, and just that atmosphere, and how the fans are there. I I like the Cubbies a lot, and then um, originally I'm from Arizona, so that's where. But there's punch people. The Cubs they spring train out of Mesa, Arizona, so that was easy to jump on that bandwagon there. And then obviously the Oakland Raiders were there. Basketball, I was an Allen Iverson fan, so I really liked the 76ers. And then for college, the Ohio State, and I still root for the Ohio State every time. Um, the Ohio State loves Arizona because every time you guys go and play at the Fiesta Bowl, look at your record. You guys are awesome when you guys play there. So I know you guys are huge fans of that there. It, can the Magnum, can we make modifications on the Magnum, the front of the house, make it look more like a home? Okay, so I'm going to ask you, what does that mean? Make it look more like a home. We all have different ideas what that can look like. So if you can kind of ask some questions regarding that, so I can get a clearer picture of what you're thinking, I'll be able to answer that for you. Yeah, the Magnum has a large pantry, big window over the sink. What I love about the Magnum as well is that it has that soaker tub, and then you have the shower that is hidden in the back, and there's no glass that you have to clean up. Regarding that, like our shower in my home right now, it has glass on it, and my wife uses vinegar to clean it. I so do not like that smell. So any shower enclosure that I don't have to do that, that's a plus for me. So in the Magnum, I'm not sure if anyone's letting you know too, is that in that master bathroom you have the two closets, right? And then there's the closet with the hidden room inside of it. If you didn't need that hidden room, you can actually extend your pantry area. And we have an option that we can put a base cabinet and an upper cabinet in there and built in a microwave. Because on that home, you really don't have an area other than on top of the range where we eliminate uh, the range hood to put the microwave. There's nowhere else to put it at. So we can actually put a butler's pantry with a built-in microwave into that pantry when we do that extension on the 30 wide. Now, if you go to the 32 wide, you don't even need that extension because it has that extra foot uh, of space in there, like a recessed area. We can do it in the recess area for you as well, and it's a very cheap option, and it gives you that ability. Now, I have kids. I have a 5-year-old and a 14-year-old, and that microwave is like hip height, I guess. Like mid range. So that way, my young daughter wants to make popcorn or heat up something, she doesn't have to worry about getting it from up top and spilling on her. And we have other houses that they have the microwave in the island. Um, you don't have to bend down. It's just perfect height for them. How fast can we deliver a single wide or a double wide home? If the home is already built, typically I tell everybody, let me slow down. Typically, I can tell everyone that we can deliver your home within 7 to 10 days from closing. That's how fast. If you're going to order a home, it's going to be anywhere from 6 to 14 months, depending on series of home that you go with. The back orders are are pretty long at this current time. Lots of excellent questions. So, are you guys winter folk or summer folk? Do you guys like the cold, or do you like the heat? I myself, I enjoy the cold weather. Growing up in Arizona, having summertime heat of 119, I don't like the hot weather so much. I do like this weather that we have going on right now, where it's in the 20s, the 30s. I still go out there in shorts. I thoroughly enjoy it, as long as it's not windy. Once the wind picks up, that's a little bit different. But what about you guys? What kind of weather do you like? And as we talk about weather, let me tell you, we do have several different types of insulation packages for your home. And the insulation package, so if I was going to build a home, despite where I'm at, hot or cold, I would build our homes with a Thermozone 3 package. And that is an R38 blown in insulation package in the ceiling. you go to an R21 and the walls with the 2x6 walls, and you go to R22 on the subfloors as well. And then you get the vinyl low E windows. So it is a very well insulated home, and it's going to save you tons and tons of money. So even on our biggest model, it's like, I want to say it's like $3,800 to do. So if you think about the time you're probably going to live in this home, you're going to save tons and tons of money on your energy cost. So um, winter, I love winter too, and happy belated birthday. Probably a couple months, but happy birthday. Um, yeah, double whites can look like a double white. The so the Metalist, what makes it very unique is what we call a front loaded home. We're hoping that the market turns back to front loaded homes. Right now, the ranch style is very very popular, so that's why our floor plans are showing those particular types right now versus the other. So, what do I mean by a front a front? I'm going to use my phone. Okay, let's say that this is the double wide here. Okay, so typically you have a hitch here and a hitch here. This is the front of any manufactured home. The rest is just the side or the back end. So when we add the cabin look, right, or the porch models, is because we're coming in from the front. So we're going in more on the deep end. So it's going to give you more of a residential look. And the nice thing is that it gives you that gabled look, just like you would find on a traditional residential home. So if you'd like that, I can send you some models that offer that look for you too, even in the small single wide or the small double wides that we can offer to you. So we can definitely give that aesthetic look. Now, making this box look more residential, there's a couple key things that you can do. So hopefully this will answer, sorry about that, answer your question in regards how can you make a Magnum or even a Horizon or any other ranch style home look more like a residential house more than a double wide. So we have a contractor here in North Texas by the name of Prefab Decks, and they just don't do decks; they actually do porches. And what they do, depending, so there's a couple things you had to have vision on, and when you're getting ready to order your home, you have to let us know up front. So one of the biggest things that you can do is ask for the home not to have any dormers. Those are the little peaks that they put on the sides of the houses or over the door. Ask for those not to be put on. Why? Well, because you're going to want to build your porch coming from the center of the marriage line, running outwards and going onto the porch itself. And that's what's going to give it more of a traditional home. So not only do you have, let's say it's like this, we're looking bird's eye view, where it's just a double wide. But if you come off with the porch here, sorry, turn that, you're going to have this look here. So it's more like a T versus the rectangular look. But on the front of the house, you can go either like a full porch with a little further pop out here. You can put the crow's feet with the columns. You can do rod iron. As far as the look of it, you can give it more of a classy southern look to the house. You can even do I call them capes or dog houses to give it just more of an aesthetic look. At the end of the day, it's all about money and budget to do that. But you can take um, these homes and make them look different. Let me see if I can actually pull up a picture of some of the stuff we have done in the past. Now, like I mentioned, I started in Arizona and moved eastbound. So we've done a couple of different stuff. So let's see here. I'm trying to find a real picture, not these computer generated ones. I want to show you a real picture. So, like right now, just to give you an idea, um, I have a customer doing 10 10 foot by 76 front porch. Um, that thing is going to cost like $24,000 to do. But the customer, um, they're totally on board for doing that. They have the money to do it, and to them, it's a great investment for them because they spend a lot of their time outside of the home than they do inside of the home itself. And the home itself will be actually they spent a lot of money beforehand when they bought the property to build up the grade because then that way with the grade being level and lifted like that, it's basically like the home will be 24 inches off the ground, so it's not a high elevation moving up to the home, so it's a really nice look to it. But it was it was about $24,000 for that porch that they're going to be doing there. So, and I know that's a lot of money. But at least this way you have a general idea of what it will cost you. Let's see here. Yeah. So anything that, as far as the porches, we'll definitely get bids for, and we'll turn those into you. The contractor that we used up here for our porches was Prefab Decks, and they're out of Grandview, Texas. Yeah, Deborah, it is a lot of money. Lumber is very expensive right now. So my garage, we did some remodeling, actually above in the attic space. It cost $1,000 just to put insulation on a 20 by 20 spot, and then we bought 3/4 inch plywood to put on so we can create attic space up there. And I mean, I spent $1,000 just for that little bit of amount of stuff. So things are just expensive right now. So hopefully something happens soon. I've been trying hard to have our company go out and buy a lumber mill because there's not a lack of trees being cut. It's just the amount of lumber that's actually being milled right now. Um, I feel like we do something like that, and then we have full control of being able to keep pricing down and not have a supply issue when it comes to that stuff. So, but of course, it's not my money. So, how can I tell someone else to do it? Uh, for whatever reason, Google's not helping me out here, but I'm sure you get the idea. You can definitely build on whether it be like I mentioned, that's a 10 by 76. That's a lot of square footage. Now, if you have a smaller home, it may be $5,000 to do your wraparound porch on the home itself. So it just kind of depends on size, length, and width. Um, Also, with that, they had the skirting that went around the decks itself, so a nice clean finish. I know when they were going to be done, they were going to do shrubs and stuff like that. So their house is going to look fantastic. It's gonna look really really nice. Well, guys, I thank you once again for tuning in. It's been about an hour and 10 minutes. I can keep going longer if you wish. Just let me know, or we can go ahead and terminate the live feed. Um, I do know contractors as far as doing garages um, and being facetious and true at the same time. I don't think there's anything that's not inexpensive right now. If you want like a custom garage actually built, that's probably going to cost you quite a bit of money. Now, there's companies out there um, that can come out and do kits, just like the way we do our manufactured homes. anything that you get in a kit to go out to be done in a facility and then delivered out is going to cost you a whole lot less. We do have contractors available for that as well. If you are going through Palm Harbor, you can ask them to reach out to a company called Levins, which is a company that, I guess, like a dispatch or general contracts, and they hire all these companies to do work for them. They just came out with some like some kit model garages that may work for you. So I would ask about that. You're very welcome, Deborah. Um, I thoroughly enjoy doing these and providing as much information as I can. So we'll go ahead and we'll call it a wrap for this one. Just remember, next week at 5 o'clock Texas time, Central Time, I will be doing a live forum. The nice thing is that it's after hours, so it should be just like today, very quiet, no interruptions, where I may be able to answer any more questions that you have. As always, I definitely appreciate you, and I hope you stay safe. And we'll go ahead and end the stream. God bless everyone.